You're listening to BK Presents on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Hello, everyone. My name is BK International Talent Scout. I'm bringing a brand new show to you called BK Presents. 30 minutes, nonstop, your favorite in gospel music. Studio sessions, going deep into interviews with your favorite artists, producers, and their engineers. You and your music. Concert previews and concert reviews. Get it all on bkpresents.com. Hello, everybody. This is BK Presents, and we are live at Rainier Avenue Radio Studios today. I am going to be doing an interview with an icon and a hero from C89 Gospel Program. I'm going to be doing a 27-minute interview with Dr. D. He was on the radio for 30 years straight, playing the very best in gospel music. Please welcome to the stage, Dr. D.
Hey, how are you, sir?
Man, 30 years on C89. Let's talk about it, bro. What was it like to be on the radio 30 years with Eddie Jones, Troy Wright, and so many other gospel DJs?
Well, actually, I started radio in Chicago.
Talk to me about it.
In Chicago, was a little station. It was a neighborhood station, actually. Miracle Life Radio. And that was back in 71, 72. Ooh. And then coming to Seattle, I started at C89. I think it was 82, 85 or something like that.
Oh, and wow. Okay.
30 years, yes.
30 years.
Yes,
through those
sir.
30 years, I did so many interviews with you, Troy, and Eddie, and everybody thought I was on the air, but I was only.
Yeah, there were a lot of people that came through. A lot of people came through.
A guest. Let's talk about the interviews that you done with national recording artists, local artists. What was it like to have those people come out to the station and go live on the air with you?
It was a great feeling because a lot of the national artists actually sought out the show because they had heard about it. Fred came through a few times and said that the gospel show was a unique platform and he loved being interviewed on there. So we've had the opportunity to interview and or work with almost anybody in gospel. And local artists, when we start doing our gospel extravaganzas,
yes,
a lot of the artists now, and some even went national. Kev on Stage was interviewed on the gospel show, Danielle Damon, and the list goes on. A lot of those artists, their first major concert was gospel extravaganza, and their first radio interview was the gospel show. So yeah.
Let's talk about this. The churches sending in PSA announcements and having the PSA announcements read on the air. What was it like reading those famous church announcements?
Well, some people didn't understand what a public service announcement was or how it had to be written. And so when a lot of them came in, we had to rewrite them for the format. And so we had to cut them down to, if we had 20 on a Sunday, we had to chop them up a little bit. So some churches weren't too happy with that, but we tried to get everybody's announcement on. So yeah, it was a little work.
Okay, let's talk about the gospel extravaganza and what that meant to the Seattle Tacoma community.
It was Eddie Jones and Troy Wright and myself. We were at a restaurant and brainstorming. I said, hey, how about let's do a midnight musical type situation, and we'll have the community vote on who they think should perform. And our very first choir was Tabernacle, actually. They were the
Hey,
very first choir to
R.L.
at,
Manaway.
at Sharpless High School. It was great because the community was a part of that that whole event. The community ran that event. They voted on who won awards, basically who opened up, who got to sing with the national artists. And so through that platform, again, a lot of our local artists, um, uh, that was their first big stage. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was exciting. It was great.
So I remember James Mitchell. Was he a part of the extravaganza?
Yep, he was one of our guests. James Mitchell was one of our guests.
Kenny
Um,
Smith.
Kenny Smith, Beverly Crawford, Sean
Woo.
Pace, um, Keith Staten from
Ooh.
Commission. He was there. So it was a lot of people that came through there. Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
man, that was nice. Let's talk about being on the radio. You guys would be at the station, rain, sleet, snow, sunshine. What gave you guys the dedication to come on the air, be on the air from like 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.? What gave you guys that drive?
Well, when we first started, it was 6 a.m. we came on at 6. It was
Okay.
we enjoyed serving our community. You know, it
Yeah.
was about there wasn't gospel the way that we played it on the air. There was another gospel station, but they were more traditional, and we
Right.
were more contemporary with a little traditional mixed into it. But I have a story about that. It was a snowstorm,
Uh-oh.
and Eddie and I were determined to get to the radio station, and I put a shovel in my truck, and we would get stuck. We would shovel out and keep going. We would shovel out, but it was the fact that we knew that our listeners were depending on us, and so that was the drive to serve our community and give them the very best in gospel. And our slogan was the message is in the music. And so for some people, that was their church. For some people, we've had um, people call in and say, hey, it saved their lives. We had people say they got them through college. We had people call. So it was the service to our community.
Oh,
That was the driving force.
Mr. Greg Nelson, he was the man behind the wheels. As far he was like the general manager, right? Greg
He
Nelson.
was, and he fought for us when um, uh, there were entities that wanted us off the air. He fought for us, fought for us, fought for us, fought for us, and he kept us on the air for all that time. Yeah.
30 years. Let's talk about, so you guys went from LPs to CDs. What was that like, spinning the LPs and then transitioning to CDs?
So we went from LPs to CDs to digital.
Oh, okay.
So um, personally, I enjoyed the LPs because you became intimate with the music. You knew the artist. You knew the album. You knew because you listened to the whole album. As we and then when it transferred from that to CD, you just got the stations or the studios will only send you a song to play, so you got the one song. And then when it went digital, that's basically the record companies at that point basically dictated what you would play from their artists. So basically, what made us different, what was we would play a song that our community could embrace versus songs that were just national. And that was one of the things that Fred enjoyed about it. It was like, you guys are playing stuff off the album that nobody else is playing. So I like I like the album a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about okay, you're on the air for 30 years. like so you guys started at 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Hmm.
So after 2 p.m., did you go to church? Did you go home?
So when I first started, it was alternating Sundays. So I
Okay.
would do a whole Sunday from 6 to 2. Eddie would do a whole Sunday, and so then we decided we wanted to split it up. So we had Aaron Renee, we had Monica T.L. Lewis, we had Daryl Woods, we had Troy Wright, and I know that I'm missing someone. We had Michelle Lane,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
and I'm sure I'm missing somebody. So what we decided to do was um, 8 to like 11, and then 11 to 2. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
basically, Eddie and I, because we had been there longest, we took the early shift, and Eddie he played for a few churches, and I would go to church. So I was audio the director at a few churches, and I was a youth pastor during that time. So we were busy. We leave radio and go to our respective churches and do our duties. Yeah.
I used to always say that bass players rule the airwaves because all the bass players and the musicians were on the air. What was it like to interview local artists when they got an opportunity to be on the air with you?
Well, I enjoyed it, and some of the artists, we had an opportunity to teach them how to interview. And some of them were nervous, like didn't know what to say. They were scared. We had at one time we were the number one show in the area, so no
Yes,
one was beating us up during that time. So there are thousands of people listening to us at a time. And so there were people that they were nervous, and just like you and I are talking, I just say we're having a conversation. Take a deep
yes.
breath. Don't think about um, the audience. Let's just talk. And so it was fun. It was a learning curve for a lot of folks that went national. We had Crystal on there, Crystal, and
Oh, yes.
who I can think of. We had just everybody came through the gospel show. Yeah,
They had to drive out to Nathan Hill. So you
yes,
guys
sir.
had the studio upstairs and then you guys went digital downstairs or?
So it was when we were actually in the school building. It was all old school. Y'all use that
I
terminology.
remember
And
that.
then when they built the new studio, it was all digital at that
Oh,
time, at that
yes.
point. Yes. So, yeah.
Okay, so we're transitioning. 30 years is over, and you have your last show with your family. Then David Bowman, he became an excellent chef. Let's talk about cooking and eating. You could talk about your son, a national hip hop artist. How did you transition from being on the radio every Sunday for 30 years and then get into your cooking and other things?
So it was quite a transition because it was something that I loved doing. So,
Yeah,
some people I didn't consider it a job. It was a pleasure. And so some people hate their jobs and they can't wait until the last day.
right.
Um, I when I decided to retire from radio, it was a hard decision, but it was one that it was time. You have to know when it's your time, and it was
Right.
my time. But cooking has always been a passion of mine. It's something
Wow.
I love cooking, and I love recipes. I have probably every kitchen gadget you can think of, yeah, but I use them. And then on top of that, being a musician, I'm a bass player.
Yeah.
Um, in fact, Eddie learned off me, but he won't admit it. But he stole some of my licks, so
Oh, you played the bass for Eddie Jones.
I played before, yeah, before Eddie. Yeah, that's how I ended up in Seattle through music. I'm from
Oh, the
Chicago.
Sons of Thunder, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And so that's how I ended up here through music. So music has my sister, my older sister, she sang with Albertina Walker,
Oh,
Shirley
wow.
Caesar, and
Oh,
So music has always been through the family. But the transition was hard.
Yeah.
You know, I still miss it. You know, it's something that I enjoy, love doing. Um, it was a hard transition. You know, it really was. People say it's easy. It's not. You know, because you've been doing something for 30 years.
30 years. That's
You
a
know,
whole career.
you
That's
know. So yeah,
that's somebody's career. And you still keep in touch with Eddie Jones, Troy, and the whole crew?
all the time we talk. You know, Troy, Eddie, and I talk the most. You know, we talk.
Oh yeah.
So
The
yeah.
Three Musketeers. I think you guys
I forgot Daryl. I forgot Daryl Woods. Daryl
oh,
Woods was on the show too.
Daryl Wood. He
Woods
plays the
and
organ at my home church. Daryl
really,
Wood,
and
Medicine Temple God in Christ.
Joe Bowman, Pastor Joe Bowman. He
Oh
was
yeah,
part of it.
Joe Bowman.
He was on there. They're coming to me now. They were
Yeah.
on. He was on the air. So yeah, it was a lot of people that
Wow.
came through. Yeah, yeah. But the
So
staples were Monica, Unica Noel. She was on there, and she's coming back. But Monica T.L. Lewis, Eddie Jones, and Dr. D. We were
yeah.
there the longest. Yeah.
And Monica, she's on another station, I believe.
Okay. And so,
David, let's talk about what's next for you. Are you going to do a cooking show? Are you going back into radio, TV? What do you see in the future of Dr. D and your entertainment company?
well, I just finished my book, and so
Uh-oh.
it's going through editing, publishing, and all that kind of stuff. As far as music goes, my son is an artist, and so I do bass lines for him for free. In fact, I'm in a national commercial right now for an insurance company. It's airing everywhere. It was The Family, and I tease my family now and tell them I'm the Tony Braxton of the family because they chose me. But we're doing that, and I do. You know, I still speak. I'm a licensed ordained minister, so I speak. I do some national conferences and workshops and all that kind of thing. Those things. You know, I try to stay busy, and of course, I cook. And so we are in talks with some people about doing cooking with Dr. D.
Oh yeah,
So
that's good
yeah,
stuff. That's gonna be
so
a hit show. I think you're gonna win an Emmy. Cooking
be
with
nice,
Dr.
huh?
D. That's what's
So
up.
it'll be
So
some music and use some music, some life lessons, and cooking. So yeah,
oh, that's
that's what
good
we're
to
about.
hear that you're speaking in the community, you're speaking at churches, you're available. Um, who do you want to give a shout out to? Well, we're at 18 minutes. We still got some minutes to go in the interview. Who you want to give a shout out to before we go into the next part of the interview?
Well, you know, everyone, I just like to take the opportunity to thank everyone who supported the gospel show. You know, a staple in our neighborhood. It was a staple in the gospel community, and not just the gospel community, the community as a whole. You know, there were a lot of people that outside of the gospel community who loved that show, you know, and who supported us. So I give a shout out to just to community as a whole. Yeah.
Yeah, now the thing about the gospel show, when I used to talk to Eddie, he would always say the gospel show was the number one show in the Pacific Northwest, meaning people were listening to you guys all over the Pacific Northwest. It wasn't just Seattle and Tacoma,
No.
it was all the cities around. And like you say, you guys, Jackie Hardy, when I went and visited her at Goodwill, she said that the gospel show helped her get ready for church. Most of the church kids, we would listen to you guys all the way until we had to go to Sunday school, hop in the car, all the way to church. If we get out of church early, we would listen to you guys back home. So the gospel program was the program because it was the best music, the best interviews, and the best of our community.
Absolutely.
So we got about 7 minutes left in the interview. Let's talk about like how you communicate, because I always read your stuff on Facebook. What was it like to communicate with young people in the schools, young people in the church? What would you see that's going on with young people versus when we were growing up or when I was growing up?
So I worked in education. In fact, I retired 4 years ago,
Okay.
and I worked for Seattle schools. I was a counselor for drug court, and I retired from Renton School, and being a youth pastor. So I worked with young people my adult life. Um, One little simple word: respect. It's respect. A lot of young people don't understand that word because they haven't been taught that word. And my connection with them has always been, you're human, I'm human. We're going to respect each other. Your feelings are valid, and let's talk. And I'm going to listen. I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm going to listen. And so that's been my connection, because a lot of young people feel like they're not heard. And when I'm older than you are. So when I was growing up, you didn't ask questions. You just did what you were told, period.
Right.
And adults, you just respected them, period. Young people today have an attitude. The only way they'll respect you is you respect them. And I said, that doesn't necessarily work that way, and so it's a respect thing. I see children, I'm a PK. But at the end of the day, I was still a kid. I still wanted to do kid stuff. The only problem was growing up in church, you had to sneak to do everything, versus the kids outside of church just did things, and so it made that more intriguing to a church kid. Like, they get to do everything. Only thing we get to do is go to church, go to school. That's it. that was it. And so connecting with young people, just meet them where they're at, um, and make their feelings valid. And
Oh wow.
yeah,
We got like 5 minutes. Let's talk about the Sons of Thunder. I remember you guys opening up for the Hawkins family
Hawkins.
at the
Yeah.
Seattle Center, and that was like a wow moment. I
Mhm.
remember getting off work, rushing to the Seattle Center. You guys opened up for the Hawkins family. Talk to us about the Sons of Thunder and what it was like to do all those concerts with them.
Well, the group was a unique group. I'm from Chicago and they're from here. And so I was 13, 14 when they came to Chicago. Their dad um, was an evangelist. So he came to Chicago to run a revival. And uh, I was already into music. I had sat in with the Thompson Community Singers and other people back in the
Oh,
day. And so my parents made me go to this revival. And I thought, man, these dudes are the corniest people I've ever seen in my life. But Felix could sing. Roger
yes.
played keyboards, great, played drums, but they had a unique sound and they were different because, they had a little soul to them. And so their dad started a church in Chicago. And of course, my parents said, we're going to the church. And so they made me get in the little choir. And then I forgot who found out I could play. And I brought my bass. Um, I brought my bass and started playing with the choir. Then I was the choir. Then I ended up playing with the group. And so so the group traveled with Dorothy Norwood, did a concerts with, she did a tour, it was gospel rock and soul. So it was Dorothy Norwood, Stevie Wonder, Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones.
Oh, man, that was a
We
real
did
concert.
We did James Cleveland. We did the Hawkins. We've done a plethora of people that we had the opportunity to open for, play with, or play for. So it was. We traveled all over the U.S. and out of the country. So
Wow.
it was a interesting, fun time.
That was a fun time.
So yeah, play bass, and here we are.
Yeah, man. So the Sons of Thunders, you guys did a documentary, right? You guys
still working on a documentary on the group and how it moved and how it shaped some things in the music community. And so yeah, and so like now I work with my son. I do some music for him. I still play a little bit. So just staying busy.
Oh man, that's so good. Man, it has been such an honor to do this interview with you. It took a while to get it together, but we got you on Rainier Avenue Radio. And when your book comes out, you got to come out. So do you think your book will be coming out this year in the summer or fall?
Pretty soon. We're going through the editing process now, and so it'll be coming out pretty soon. Yep.
All right.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, Dr. D, the author, the chef, and radio personality. Thank you for being on the show, Dr. D. And when your book comes out, we'll bring you back. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Seattle, for checking out the
show.
Bye-bye.
BK Presents on Rainier Avenue Radio. It's been our pleasure. But listen, we want to connect with you. Maybe you have some takeaways from the show that you would like to let us know about. You can do that in two ways. You can go on Twitter and follow us at BK Presents, or email us bkpresents@gmail.com. Once again, that's BK Presents